Data Insight Studio is an insight discovery feature to explore, analyze, and deep dive into data. It enables you to discover insights, create reports easily, and add data visualizations for better understanding. This is the landing page. On this page, you can choose which tool you want to use to discover insight today. There are 3 discovery tools, which are the Table View, Flying Cards, and the Cube View. Let's deep dive into each of the tool. In Table View, you can see all the data of the received feedback. Our Table View gives you the flexibility you need. Let's say you want to prioritize improvements or want to identify the best stores to pilot a new initiative. You can narrow down only the information you need, such as the NPS score, NPS verbatims, NPS labels, and store name. Then, let's say we want the store name to be displayed first. We can do that by rearranging the columns. Simply click and hold the header of the column you want to move and drag it to the new order. We can also apply some filters, like the date range period, and other filters to narrow down the data. For example, to view only detractor feedback, simply use the filter drop-down to isolate their responses. Or, we can also directly search for specific feedback by using the search bar. All can be done just like how you want to see the data. Export the table as an Excel file by clicking on the Export button. Now, after we are happy with how the data is organized, we can save this view as a bookmark for future use, so that we don't need to reapply all the filters and settings. Simply click on Add to Favorites, add a title, and save. You can find your reports in the sidebar or in your favorites. Flying Cards is an interactive data visualization tool that enables you to group your feedback into categories and slicing and dicing it even further. Each square represents one feedback. The color for each square will help you quickly differentiate between positive, neutral, and negative feedback. In Flying Cards view, you can group the feedback into categories. Let's have a scenario. Let's say we want to know if certain days show more detractors and what underlying factors could be influencing this pattern. First, let's group the feedback based on the NPS label so that we can have promoters, neutrals, and detractors groups. Now, let's focus on the detractors' feedback. Click on the category so that the detractor filter is applied. Then we can slice these detractors' feedback even further by grouping the feedback based on the days of week category. Click on the Group by drop-down and choose Shop Date, Day of Week. Now you can focus on the day with the most detractors and investigate further on why you receive more detractors from customers who shop on Friday and Saturday. We can save this view as a bookmark for future use, so that we don't need to reapply all the filters and settings. Simply click on Add to Favorites, add a title, and save. You can find your reports in the sidebar or in your favorites. The Cube View is a pivot table where you can drill down any pattern or trend by adjusting the rows and columns. Sounds familiar? It behaves just like a pivot table on Excel. Let's say we want to know how each region under our supervision performs. First, let's put NPS and responses as a measure. Now, because we want to see the performance for each region, we need to add a region in the row. We can slice it even more to see the performance of each store by simply putting store in the row. Each region will now have a nested row, and you can expand by clicking on this icon to see the stores under each region. Now, we can see which stores in each region perform the least and need your attention. Let's say we want to dig deeper, and we want to see how the performance trending over months in this year. First, let's change the date range period to this year. Then, since we want to see how the performance for each month, let's add a column by clicking on the column drop-down and choose Shopping Date by month. Now we can compare how each region and store is performing each month. We can export this data to an Excel file for further analysis, or visualize your data with the charting tool, which will be discussed next. Have you found yourself exporting the data manually to create a chart? Now you can add a chart based on the data in the cube view. Let's have a look at this example. I already have a pivot table with NPS as a measure and store as the rows. Now, with the auto-generated chart, I can easily turn this data into a chart by simply clicking on the View Chart button. Visualize the data according to your needs by using a different chart, or by limiting the data displayed in the chart. Download the chart and add it to your reports and presentations. You can also put a comment, add the title, and save it to Favorites. Now, sharing the chart is so much easier. Simply copy the shareable link from Favorites and share it with the team. Don't know where to start? Use our ready-to-use report templates on the landing page. They are modifiable based on your needs. Let's use one of the pre-made reports as an example. Let's choose the Region Performance Report. Upon clicking, the page will load the cube view with the Region Performance Report. We can see in this report that we have responses, NPS, and the drivers as the measure. We also have region added as the row. Let's say we want to add another row. I'll choose Channel from the row drop-down. Now that we have all the information we want in the report, we can save the modified report as our own report by adding it to Favorites. You can find your reports in the sidebar or in your Favorites. Whether you're diving into trends with Cube View, filtering feedback in Table View, or visualizing patterns with flying cards, Data Insights Studio makes it all seamless. Uncover deep insights, customize reports, and visualize data like never before. Reach out to us at support@resonatesolutions.com.au for any questions.